Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and in today's video, we're just going to kind of go over the Thunder Summer League game from yesterday against the Sixers. The Sixers, unfortunately, did not play Edgecombe, so the Thunder were able to pull that off. We'll talk about Topic and how he's struggling, and we'll see if he can bounce back against the Jazz. That the Thunder played the Jazz last night when this is coming out, but we'll get a video out talking about that game as well. And then we'll talk about some OKC extensions. The Shea one went official today, so then we'll talk about the possibility of when that Chet and Jada rookie extensions might go down. But first off, we'll go over the Thunder Summer League game against the Sixers 2 nights ago, and the Thunder took this game by the Sixers a lot duly part to the Sixers not playing Edgecombe. He unfortunately did not play, so the Sixers weren't as strong, and the Thunder took advantage of that, even though in this game the Thunder players struggled to shoot. AJ Mitchell didn't shoot that best. We'll obviously kind of get into Topic now because that's going to be the main topic, is how Topic struggled. He shot 2 for 13 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. A lot of what, when people compare Topic to Giddey, it looked like one of Giddey's bad game when he was on the Thunder. So, and I don't want this to get confused because I think Topic will be a lot better with at least his ceiling and what he can become, a lot better than what Giddey was on the Thunder. So the Thunder, I think, are hoping to kind of get a better version of what they had in Giddey out of Topic. And I think from what we've seen in these first two games, even though this second one wasn't a good game at all, it looks like Topic can be that better version of Josh Giddey, and I think that's what the Thunder are looking for. You look at Topic's game, it looks like he passes a little bit better. He handles the ball a lot better than what Giddey had in OKC. I think Topic will shoot better. Obviously, he didn't show this shooting 0 for 6, but Giddey had, I mean, you saw it in the Dallas Mavericks series. He pretty much got played off the floor because he could not hit an open three, and Dallas was taking full advantage of that. So obviously, if it becomes that bad for Topic won't get playing time, and he's going to have to work on that. But for the most part, I think he finishes better than Josh Giddey as well. So for the Thunder, it's just he's still so young. He's only 19. This is a guy who for Thunder fans, they might hope that he can make an instant impact and be like a big difference maker even this year. I think he can have some big moments, but we have to remember he's so young. It could still be another year or two before he's starting to hit that spark of actually getting quality minutes in the NBA. And at that point, that's good for the Thunder because you're going to have him on such a cheap deal, and he's going to be so good, and he's only going to be 20, 21, and you're still going to have that whatever many years of control left on him. So I think that's what the Thunder are hoping for, a lot of when the Thunder aren't using all their draft picks to trade up, and like what we're hoping for, what we thought the Thunder might do in this draft, trading into the top 10 with rumors of that. I mean, there were people pretty much confirmed Presti was calling, but nobody was taking a deal. So you just have to look at the Thunder are going to continue to draft with those picks and just rotate those rotational guys. And when you get guys where you can draft with such high upside, if you have 2 drafts and you have 4 first-round picks in those, eventually one of those high ceiling guys is going to hit their ceiling, and that's what the Thunder continue to do and take advantage of. So does this game mean that Topic is going to continue to struggle, not make a difference? No. Like I said last video, he's so young. There's going to be a lot of ups and a lot of downs, so it's just up to Topic to kind of level out that but just keeping those highs and lows at a minimum. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. I fully believe Topic can go out against the Jazz tonight and Ace Bailey and just absolutely cook and have another 15-point performance. And we'll kind of transition into this when this comes out. They would have already played, so you guys will know. But OKC will take on Ace Bailey and the Utah Jazz. Hopefully Bailey actually plays and the Thunder can actually play one of those top draft picks, and we'll see how the Thunder approach it. The Jazz are one of those teams where we predict them to have a top 3 pick again, or at least top 3 worst record to have a chance at that number 1 pick again. I think the Jazz are on the full tank mode to go get their AJ DeBantis, who is going to BYU, who's a Utah guy, and I think that's what Utah is hoping will do. And I mean, with the NBA, you never know, that might happen, or Utah might get screwed over and drop to 5. We never know. So Utah's they're the fun story of the draft because Ace Bailey, obviously they drafted him at number 5, and Bailey on multiple occasions said he didn't want to go to Utah. He wanted to be in Brooklyn, New Orleans, one of those teams, and Utah still selected him at 5. Danny Ainge came out and said he did not care and he wanted to take the talent. He thinks Ace Bailey was the best pick at pick 5. So to see how Ace Bailey's going to handle that, how the Utah Jazz are going to handle that, it's just going to be a fun thing. And Ace Bailey's still a very good prospect and a very good basketball player, or can become that. So it should be a fun game to watch. We'll see how Topic and Mitchell, Barnhizer, all those guys play after a game where they all had bad performances. How do you bounce back from that and not let it carry over to the next game? So we'll see how they do in that game. And then lastly, we'll talk about some more the Thunder Big Three of Shea, J-Dub, and Chet. Today it became official of that contract extension for Shea for the 5 years, $285, I believe it was. So that the extension became official. So now that kind of brings up the topic and people talking about when is J-Dub and Chet going to get their extensions. Paolo just got his a couple days ago. So when are the Thunder going to go after that? And in my opinion, I think J-Dub is more likely to get an extension done first than Chet. Like I've said from the get-go on this channel, I just think if any of the big three were to leave because of money or whatever it might be, I feel like it would be Chet. And I think J-Dub and Chet both will get their money. I don't think we'll have problems, but just in the back of your mind, if it were to be one of the three, that kind of be like the James Harden of 2012, I think it would be Chet, unfortunately, which sucks because I really believe Chet's ceiling is higher than J-Dub's, which is crazy to say because we just saw J-Dub drop 40 in an NBA like Game 5 in one of the biggest games of the entire NBA playoffs, and he goes out there and drops 40. But just throughout the entire playoffs, what we saw from Chet on the defensive end and having those sparks of offensive games come out and show that if Chet can get up to those heights and get closer and stay more consistent up there, Chet will, without a doubt, one day could average 20 and 10 with 3 blocks and be in the D-point conversation. I don't know if he'll ever win one because of a guy in San Antonio, unfortunately, but I really think Chet will have a chance just maybe because of voters' fatigue, and Wemby is not going to win it 8 years in a row probably. But I just think out of all the three, Chet would be the one. I don't know if they're really close on extensions. I haven't heard of anything. Obviously, Sam Presti said he's not letting any of the public know that. He thinks it should be a private thing until it's official. So we really don't know how close they are, if they're close, or if it's a thing where they want to wait till next offseason. I think obviously the Thunder are trying to get these done now because you saw what they did with Shea to save that $100 million. And I obviously think that's to give J-Dub and Chet what they want so they can keep the big three together. And I think the Thunder are taken about as an A+ of an approach as you can with these new CBA rules in the first apron and the second apron. And I think with how the Thunder draft, they're just going to be able to continue to rotate role players. And I really do think we could be in for a run where in the next, at least through the 2020s, we could probably win another 2 or 3 titles and be considered the dynasty of the decade. So it's just going to be up to Sam Presti and the team if certain guys are willing to take pay cuts to stay on a team and continue to win, or if guys get greedy and want to go, like a Cason Wallace might want to go and make more money on some team as a starting point guard or something. But we'll just kind of keep out our eye, and hopefully the Thunder can get these guys extended and kind of get the core of the team going. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Topic so far, the NBA Summer League, if you think the Thunder are close to signing J-Dub and Chet, and what do you guys think those numbers might be in what range of years and numbers. But that'll be it for me today, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.